Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le doyen de la faculté des sciences économiques et de gestion. Merci de nous avoir éclairé sur la convergence entre le profil du promoteur de ce programme, Mr Wilfried KRAUS, et l'objectif de ce programme. Je veux parler de profil d'excellence. À travers un cursus de formation et de professionnels, vous aurez relevé que M. Wilfried KRAUS est véritablement susceptible d'être un profil d'excellence. Profil d'excellence structuré autour d'un attachement extrêmement fort à l'innovation, à la recherche et à l'anticipation surtout sur les problématiques existentielles de son pays comme des pays avec lesquels il coopère. Et c'est cette tendance forte à l'excellence articulée autour de la recherche, associée à ce que vous appelez une vision humaniste, qui ont sûrement conduit à la création de ce projet majeur qui rayonne en Afrique de l'Ouest sous le concept WASCAL et qui rayonne également en Afrique australe. C'est un outil, comme vous l'avez dit, d'intégration sous-régionale. Mais c'est surtout pour notre gouvernement, nos universités, un outil de coopération académique. Il n'est pas facile d'instituer tout un programme de formation et de recherche dans un réseau d'universités publiques africaines. Nous en avons souvent fait l'amer constat en distinguant combien il est difficile, en dehors de la promotion des enseignants et même là, dans le CAMES, il est difficile de construire des réseaux. Mais la vision qui a pensé d'abord à l'objet de WASCAL et surtout à la stratégie de responsabilisation sur le terrain de l'ensemble des universités participantes dans une perspective de convergence vers un objectif unique qui est la formation adaptée pour dégager des réponses aux problématiques de l'environnement, fait sûrement le succès de WASCAL. En cela, donc, nous accordons pour accréditer le mérite de M. Wilfried KRAUS par rapport à la distinction qui lui est accordée aujourd'hui. Notre université, je rappelle, accorde le titre de Docteur Honoris Causa après un parcours extrêmement surveillé. C'est quelqu'un de la même discipline que le récipiendaire qui fait un rapport, lequel rapport est présenté dans une instance facultaire ou dans une école. Quand l'école valide le rapport est envoyé au conseil restreint de l'université, qui est le gouvernement de l'université. Et en l'occurrence, celui de M. KRAUS a été validé par la faculté de sciences économiques et de gestion et par la faculté des sciences juridiques et politiques. Et après le conseil restreint, le rapport est validé à l'assemblée de l'université, avant que les autorités publiques, gouvernement et autres n'apportent leur onction. Et c'est à l'issue de ce parcours que l'Université de Dakar décerne le titre de Docteur Honoris Causa aux personnes qu'elle juge dignes de ce titre. Vous êtes tous d'accord avec moi, sûrement, pour reconnaître et admettre que M. Wilfried KRAUS mérite bien le titre de Docteur Honoris Causa de notre université. Nous allons donc attaquer le cérémonial pour lui donner ce titre à travers les symboles. Nous allons faire une petite rupture dans le protocole pour lui permettre, avec le secrétariat du rectorat, de revêtir la toge symbolique qui lui accorde le titre de Docteur Honoris Causa, de recevoir le diplôme et la médaille avant de prononcer une conférence à l'endroit de tout le public et singulièrement des étudiants pour lesquels nous sommes très contents de leur ombre. Conférence intitulée « Développer des résiliences face au changement climatique par la coopération internationale, le modèle WASCAL en Afrique de l'Ouest ».
Donc, Monsieur Wilfried KRAUS, au nom de Monsieur le recteur, le professeur Ibrahima Diop, président de l'Assemblée de l'Université Cheikh Diop de Dakar, et des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés, nous vous distinguons en qualité de Docteur Honoris Causa de l'Université Cheikh Diop de Dakar avec les prérogatives qui sont attachées.
Mr. Roken, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Senegal, Excellencies, Ambassadors, Councils, representing the member countries of WASCAL and affiliate states, dear Professor Badji, dear Professor Niang, Dean of the different faculties, in particular economics and law. This is very attractive for me because I worked a lot in the economic sector but as well in the law sector and legal sector, and therefore I'm very proud of this thing. Honourable members of the Academic Council of the University of Dakar, deans of the various faculties of the University of Dakar, dear Peter Derry, my friend, he is the chairperson of the governing board and doing a brilliant job. I'm very happy to have him on board. Dear Professor Salvadogo, the Executive Director, as well a professional in leading international organization. It's good to have you here. Well, and colleagues from PTDLR, Mr. Anu, René Haag from the Ministry, strong supporter of WASCAL, doing a lot. Well, lecturers and scientists of the University of Dakar, dear students, I have the opportunity to speak with the graduates and PhD students yesterday, and it was very inspiring. Thank you for this very good discussion, this very good talks, and all the best for your scientific and above this, your professional career. Valued guests of the ceremony, first of all, I'd like to thank the highest authorities of the Republic of Senegal for giving this award to my person for the implementation the ever best and very successful capacity building program with high impact across the West African region. I feel truly honored for this great recognition given by the Council of the prestigious University of Dakar. Above all this, I am very thankful to the government of Senegal, to you personally, honorable representatives of the university, and in particular the honorable ministers of the government of Senegal. I'm very grateful to the Academic Council of the University, of course, and I'm as well happy to have the strong support of my ministers and state secretary, which made it possible that we have the necessary funds to support you and to support WASCAL. This shows so much the trust and faith in our common journey, and all people are very much convinced that WASCAL is a good idea as an international organization, as an institution which is able to solve urgent problems in the region based on climate change and to have a sustainable development of these countries, because there is no alternative for a good future for Africa and Europe and everywhere in the world if you don't have a sustainable development. So the best example is agriculture. You have to treat the land carefully. If not, it will cause a lot of problems. And additionally, you have the problem of climate change. There is a bigger challenge than before, and you have to be capable and competent to solve this problem in time, because in particular of the increasing population, which has to be fed. As you may recall, the accomplishment of a good action in a human society has never been the work and the achievement of a single person. My colleagues of the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research and our implementing agency, the German Center for Aeronautics and Space, I worked there, you hear it, strongly support me and assist me to make WASCAL a success story. And in particular, Professor Mbay, the graduate schools are big success story. And it's not only our impression, because sometimes we want to know it more in detail. Therefore, we asked KfW and Professor Tarberger, she is a specialist in analyzing, in particular, research institutions worldwide. She was very much convinced of the idea and the concept of the graduate schools, and in particular in Senegal. A very good record. Very good. Thanks for that. You're doing with your students a brilliant job. A brilliant job for your country and a brilliant job for this region. Additionally, I have to thank the members of the governing board. We're now working together since 9 years. And we were able to build up trust. Trust is a very important thing. And that was one element of the concept of WASCAL. We don't want to have a German African institution, we want to have real partnership. And WASCAL is and will be and should be and must be for the future a West African institution, only supported by us, maybe by others, but an African institution governed by African countries in the ownership and responsibility of African countries. And this is a different, I think, to a lot of other research initiatives in Africa and other parts of the world. This is really unique. You have to know that we have a governing board where are 11 countries in. 10 African countries and only Germany. And the vast majority, you see, 10, is with the African countries. And therefore, we made a big step forward. And we are able, and that was the case yesterday, we were able to have a very open and frank discussion yesterday, or the day before, in order to improve the system. Because we don't want to stay with only 250 graduate school students or PhDs. Our approach will be to have, in the next 4 to 5 years, 1,000, not only 250. This must be our challenge. And, and yesterday we had some inspiring discussions about it. It will be possible, I'm very convinced. You said it, I'm sometimes a little bit impatient. I want to have more progress in less time. That's a problem sometimes, Peter, as a governing board meetings. But there is every time good mood and a lot of trust, and therefore I'm very convinced that we will do that and will be able to solve this problem. And I have to thank Professor Mdai for his brilliant work. Cher Ali, un grand merci. And it's not only the paperwork. Yesterday I said we had the chance to speak with these brilliant young people, members of his graduate school, students. Their thinking, their ambitions, the engagement was convincing. And this is the most important thing. And they trust in you and they build up in your work. And that was really convincing. Thanks so much. And your country and all the others should be thankful for you and the work you did, in particular in very close cooperation with the other faculties of the University of Dakar. Now we are in 10 African countries, or 11 more or less, but we want to be in 15, in the ECOWAS countries in due time. And there will be a good perspective, because For example, Cambodian Islands will be part of it in short time. And we will expand the number of graduate schools, because there will be a graduate school in next time at the Cambodian Island concerning marine research, fishery research, and there will be as well a graduate school in Burkina Faso concerning data management. It's a very important thing, and we will be able, and we are optimistic that we could have that in short time. But we have to do a lot of work, but I'm very optimistic that we can solve all these problems till end of the year, that we are able to start the construction work in Burkina Faso in 2019, and that we will come up as well, René, with the Graduate School of the Cambodian Islands in 2019. Yes, the German government is spending to WASCAL in the last 7 to 8 years 60 million euro. And it's a very good investment. I started in my directorate 9 years ago, and we had a lot of projects worldwide. 200 projects in 50 countries. But none of these projects was linked. No effect, no impact, no transfer of knowledge, no focus on challenges, really. And therefore the idea of WASCAL was a brilliant idea to have an engagement and a network in a region. You heard I was head of the Department of Technology Marketing in DLR. I built it up, and I'm constantly interested in transfer from knowledge, transfer of innovation. And therefore it was crystal clear that this WASCAL has to have as well the impact to transfer knowledge, not only to the decision makers, not only in the research sector, as well to the ordinary people, to give them advice, to change things, and, for example, to have the chance to deal with the problems of climate change. And I was very happy that your director, Professor Diop, has absolutely the same opinion. And therefore we have the feeling we are strongly, very strongly supported from the University of Dakar. Our aim is, with WASCAL, to strengthen the science base in Africa by developing and combining our scientific capacities, the African and the German one. WASCAL has helped a lot in this respect. It helped setting up and coordinating new integrated regional research activities in the area of sustainable land use, resource management, regional vulnerability assessments, and early warning response system. It enhanced the visibility of science from Africa in the international science community through networking. And it is not only this. You mentioned it and others mentioned it as well. In the last decade, we didn't have really representatives from West Africa in the IPCC. Now we have them, and that is important because Africa is an important part of this climate change process, and you have to be represented there. And we have now the chance, and we have still their lead also in the IPCC process coming from West Africa. I think this is a big success in doing this. Yes, and therefore, and this is a political framework we are thinking and working on, is WASCAL is significant contributing to the Paris Agreement 2050 because there the industrial countries are asked to support the other countries, which are not very well developed in the sector, to be able to deal with consequences of climate change and to have their own knowledge base in order to come up with own decisions based on this knowledge. Yes, but on the one side, it's a good sign that the number of scientific works produced by Africans and the quality of their scientific work increased significantly over the last 10 years. That's perfect. But this, however, cannot cover the serious lack of well-trained experts from Africa in Africa to address key challenges such as climate change, biodiversity loss, sustainable resources management or food security. And WASCAL is one answer to address this challenge. In the last few years, in WASCAL alone, some 250 young graduates have completed a doctorate or a master's degree program relating to climate change and adapted land use. Let me put this into perspective. West Africa has a population of 375 million people, but so far less than 500 climate researchers. I said it, well, WASCAL alone has produced 250 in 7 years. But therefore our ambition has to be bigger, definitely. Therefore, the new number for me and all the colleagues is 1,000 in 4 years. That should be possible in the next years in order to have a sound basis for that. And it's not only the number of researchers, it is as well the approach to have young people which has the potential to be in the future responsible for your countries, very well qualified. And they must not necessarily work in the field of climate change only. But this will be in mind. This will trigger their decisions. That makes it necessary that the governments take responsibility for it and are willing to give additional resources in. It's crystal clear that we have to contribute significantly. But it would be necessary and it would be good to have as well financial contributions from the member countries in. And in the end, we have to find models for financing WASCAL, maybe with a lot of other donors, but for a very long run, using climate funds, World Bank, whatever. Therefore, the fourth pillar of WASCAL is fundraising, in order to have as well not only a scientific basis, to have as well a sound financial basis. And on this issue we have to work more and more intensively, but we will do it, and I'm very optimistic that we can be successful at that point. Let me come to an end. Once again, thank you for the really great honor I received today. I will leave Senegal back to Germany with great memories, not only concerning this event and ceremony, because of the good discussions I had, and in particular with the students, but as well with your very inspiring rector of the university. It was impressive. Thanks a lot for that. Merci de tout cœur pour cet honneur que vous me faites et que Dieu vous garde. Thank you all. Long live the cooperation between the Republic of Senegal, WASCAL and the Federal Republic of Germany. Long live WASCAL. Thanks a lot.